Hi, guys. Good evening, and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host, Eddie, and in today's video, I'll be discussing what I thought of this month's release for the horror anthology show Into the Dark. They dropped their newest episode about a week ago. I finally had a chance to catch up and watch it. This one, of course, being themed to Valentine's Day. Well, not necessarily Valentine's Day, but it had the theme of not really love in this case. Well, you'll see what I mean. But before I get into all of that, of course, please be warned, this is a spoiler-filled review. I'll be referring to key scenes, plot details, and character stuff and all that jazz. So if you have not seen My Valentine yet and you would like to watch it, don't keep watching or listening to this video, as I will be referring to it and a lot of the juicy spoilers. So you have been warned. That being said, let's dive in. Gonna be honest with you guys, didn't really care for this one that much. It felt like a bit of a downgrade from last year's Valentine's Day episode, which was great. That was the one called Down, where it was the office woman and her coworker are trapped in an elevator, and what starts as a steamy encounter turns into something far more sinister. That one was great. It was gripping, exciting, engaging. But this one this one was more unsettling, and it was hard to. I felt my interest being it felt like it was losing my interest at parts. I did like the fact that they played with the theme of domestic abuse as a real horror, which it really is, and that was obviously a huge theme in this episode. So I liked that they went with that approach, and then they tried putting the horror twist on it. But I don't know if the horror twist part was that well executed. The one highlight from this episode would be the performance by the guy who played the main douchebag music manager or producer, whatever he was. That actor, Benedict Samuel, I recognized him instantly. He was a minor recurring antagonist from several years ago on one of my favorite shows, The Walking Dead, where he played an excellent creepy villain in that show, and he did a very good job playing a creepy villain in this episode of this show as well. He was unsettling, he was unlikable, he was creepy, he was kind of gross, and he was violent, and he did a great job performance-wise. Hats off to the actor. That was a great performance. But overall though, it's like there's some characters there, and it's like the couple who were fighting, and they were in a band, and they were waiting to go up on stage, do their set, and they were waiting while having sex in their car. I'm like, were they not curious as to why it was taking them so long to get on stage? Were they not curious why the club suddenly closed really early or something like that? And then it's like, why were those characters even there? Just to add to the body count? Because I felt like there were a couple of characters who were just there to add to a higher bloody body count. No shortage of blood splatter and practical gore effects in this episode, so that was a plus as well. That was pretty well done. It's just too bad that the main girl, not Treasure. Not Treasure. No, Treasure was the one who was the ripoff. The main girl, her best friend, it's too bad that she got killed so quickly, because she was probably one of the more likable characters of this story, and they killed her right away. But also hats off to her for not taking any shit from a bully like that prick, and standing up for her friend, even though it cost her life. Yeah, this episode, it had its moments, and Benedict Samuel did a great job playing such a great villain, and he died in a horrible way that only a villain like that could deservedly die, in a sense. And I like that our main girl came out on top, and she ended up surviving the whole ordeal, and she, in a sense, got her life back, but then she also kind of stole the other girl's life briefly for a while before coming out and saying she wanted to be her true, authentic self. So it was nice for our main character, and they did a good job making you feel sorry for her, because she was in this abusive, nasty relationship with a nasty prick, and then he and his other girlfriend end up stealing all of her music. Her whole life almost falls apart, and now she's finally rid of him, and she can move on with her life. And it wasn't necessarily a Valentine's Day episode. It took place on Valentine's Day, and I guess you could argue the theme of love and relationships was definitely within this episode. I wouldn't know much about the theme of love, because this was about an abusive, one-sided relationship that the guy had with both women. but I could see why they would try to spin it to make it a Valentine's Day episode. But it was what it was. Not my favorite episode. Probably won't watch it again, but I've seen it and I wanted to let you guys know what I thought of it. Like I said, highlight really was Benedict Samuel's performance. He played a great creepy villain, and he got a deservedly bloody, violent death for being such a bastard like he was. And yeah, it just felt like it could have been a lot better. I don't know if it was the writing or the direction of this episode, but there was a lot of things that were lacking. But there's some highlights, like the usage of practical gore and bloody effects were pretty cool and pretty good. And our main villain did a great job as well. So that's what I thought of Into the Dark, My Valentine. What did you guys think of it? I want to hear your thoughts and your opinions on this. Please feel free to sound off down below in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and this episode, if not as much as I did, if more than I did. Into the Dark drops new episodes first Friday of every month exclusively on Hulu. That's where you can watch this episode and all the other previous installments. Have an awesome rest of the weekend, guys, if I don't see you. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.